Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. My name is Mitchell Morgan and today we are heading off for a very special race. We're going to be heading to the World Circuits and we're going to be going to Europe and Monza. But before we do that, I'm just going to go up into the options and double check that we're on the hard difficulty, which we are. So we're going to come out of here and we're going to go into Monza for one of the new races in the 1.42 update. It's the Vision Gran Turismo Trophy. But this is also one of the weekly challenges this week. So we're going to kill two birds with one stone. The car that we're going to use is the Lamborghini V12 VGT. I've got racing soft tyres on. Otherwise, the suspension is pretty much normal, I believe. And the differential is pretty much standard. I've got 400 and 600 for the downforce. I've got 100 for output adjustment, 0 for ballast, 100 for the power restrictor. The transmission and the nitrous overtake are pretty much normal, as are most of the other settings in here. But you can obviously have a look at those on the screen to see if they're any different to you. We're allowed 850 pp. We're on a 838.65 as per today. So we're well in on the pp limit. So let's get into the race and see how we can do. This is the Vision Gran Turismo Trophy at Monza, 5 laps. Let's see how we go. So I'm just setting this up. The only thing we really need to worry about is the traction control. I'm running on traction control 1 for this one. There's no fuel to worry about. I'm going to go down the outside of that first car, braking on the 200-meter board and just get it slowed down before this corner to tuck in behind these first 2 cars. I always seem to have trouble getting around these cars. Crashed out a few times when I first started this because sometimes they'll go one behind the other, sometimes they're side by side. There is loads of time to win this race, so don't worry about getting through these cars straight away. The same with this one. I'm always catching him at this point. I was tempted to go down the outside on the right hand side and he moves over. So just hang back a bit, go down the left hand side and just keep it all nice and easy. And that really is the key thing for all of these cars, is just give them some room and do the overtake in a straight line, because we've got loads and loads of power in this Lamborghini, and we've also, believe it or not, got loads and loads of time. We're on lap number 1, not even halfway round I don't think yet, and we're already up into 9th position. I happen to like 3rd through there and just lifting occasionally as you go through so you don't go off on the right hand side. I will take you around the track in a few minutes just with regards to the gears that I preferred. Another one here, just swing around the outside of these, but just be very wary of these cars moving over to the right hand side that you don't get caught out and running out of track. So I tend to just tuck in behind, and then as they move out to the left hand side, as you can see there with the BMW, just come up the inside of that car. This one, you're looking for the 200-meter board. Don't wait for the white line. Very often we wait for the white line for braking. You want to brake on the 200-meter board for that one. And again, just be careful if you are in and around other cars that you give them some space. The same here, you can see with this black car in front of me. I'm not quite sure where he's going. I gave him a little bit of room, and then we can get a nice easy overtake as we go down into this corner. Again here, slowing down a lot more than we need to. Just being careful not to get into the back of that car in front. Now we're straight, we can get round him. Slow it down for this corner, and again, just follow this car through. There's a bit of a gap on the inside there, but I wasn't sure if it's going to close off. So again, being very, very cautious through here. And I didn't really want to bang into the doors on the cars. But once you get a straight line, you can absolutely let this car run, and it is very, very quick. So at this point, halfway around, what are we, the 2nd lap, we're already into 2nd place, and the 1st place runner is not that far ahead actually, just under 6 seconds, which at the rate that we are running is not very much at all. As we come towards this final corner, I'm looking for the 200-meter board, braking just about the 200 or slightly before, down into 3rd gear, and ideally you want to try and run that corner on the right hand side and then drift out to the left on the exit, getting the power down as soon as you can. As we run down into the first of the chicanes, I'm looking for the 200-meter board and braking just before. I tended to find if I broke on the 200, I would overrun. Down through the gears to first gear, up into second just before you jump over the curve. Be careful about how much of the curve you take. You can take a little bit on the way in, less on the way out, I found. And then through here, you can pretty much be flat unless you're overtaking. If you're overtaking, I tended to find that I used to lift a little bit. That Genesis is pretty quick, so just be a little bit careful when you're overtaking it. Make sure you're overtaking it on a straight and you will have no problems whatsoever. Coming into this little corner here, I'm braking on the 50-meter board for that one. This one I'm braking on the white line and then down into second gear. Just take a little bit of that curve where you've got the green Astro on the inside, and then we can let this run all the way down to the next chicane, all the way up through the gears. This one I'm looking for the 200-meter board on that one, slowing it down, third gear, just feathering the throttle through there. Once you get it straight, back on the throttle, all the way up through the gears. And again, as we go into this corner, I'm looking for the 200-meter board, really no later than that, on the brakes, down into third gear. I've got second just to slow it down a little bit. I felt I was a little bit too quick there. So down into third, let it drift out to the left-hand side, and then on the power as soon as we can to come across the start and finish line to start lap number 4. So again, as we go into this one, I'm looking for the 200-meter board. I'm going to be hard on the brakes, braking in a straight line all the way down to first gear, up into second as we get to the hairpin. I'm being very cautious on the curbs this time because we are a good 6 seconds ahead of the second place runner. So now I can take it a little bit easy. Pretty much flat through here, going up through the gears. And then we're looking for the brake marks in the floor. There's 2 very long skid marks in the floor from where a car was braked. I was a little bit late that one, so it just caught the curbs. Just a reminder that we do still need to keep the wits about us as we are coming through to finish up this race. So we come through here, braking on the 50-meter board. I'm sorry, on that one it was the white line, the 50-meter board for the first of those 2 corners. And as we come down into the chicane for this one, again I'm looking for the 200-meter board on the right hand side. As soon as we hit hat now, braking, don't leave it for the normal bit of grey tarmac on the right hand side. I tended to find that that was a little bit too late. You'd then end up going into that chicane a little bit too quickly, and very often I would end up on the outside of the track and in problems on the exit. 200-meter board for this one, just getting it slowed down. Third gear, pick up the curb, just run it, let it drift out to the outside as you exit the curb, building up the speed. As you exit the curve, full throttle, up through the gears, and once again as we approach the first chicane, we're looking for that 200-meter board. Just before that, we're going to hit the brakes, all the way down into first gear, up into second for the chicane, just being careful on the curbs. And then we'll come up through the gears as we go through here. This is pretty much flat now that we are not negotiating any traffic, so foot flat to the floor, all the way up to fifth. Now we're looking for those 2 skid marks in the floor. There they are, getting it slowed down, down into second. You can actually go up to third through there if you wish to. I just left it in second at that time. 50-meter board on that one, just around in second gear. Watching out for the white line this time. Second gear, pick up that little bit of green turf on the inside there, and then we can let this run all the way down to the chicane yet again. So this time looking for the 200-meter board, bury the brake pedal in a straight line, getting it turned in again second or third. Sometimes I'm second, third this time. Just feathering the throttle through that little complex to make sure you don't drift out on the right hand side there. Up through the gears as we approach the final corner to win this race. 200-meter board. Just third gear all the way through here, keeping it nice and smooth, up in fourth gear, and we come across the line for a very, very easy finish in this Lamborghini V12 VGT. We've done the weekly challenge. We've come first on the hard settings by some considerable margin, 17.2 seconds to the second place, 20 seconds to the third. We didn't get a clean race bonus on that occasion. We've got 85,000 credits and the gold trophy, which is all important. We will collect our trophy, and that is how I did the Vision Gran Turismo Challenge at Monza in the Lamborghini V12, an awesome car. All you need to do is make sure that you brake in a straight line. You're cautious with your overtakes as you're going through these cars because they will move over on you. Sometimes they're going too abreast through some of these corners, so just bide your time. There's loads and loads of time. You saw how far ahead I was at the end of that particular race, especially through the chicanes. Just take it very, very easy in the traffic and just be very careful on the curbs. There's no need to be bouncing it across. As soon as you get it straight, line up the car in front, move out to the side. Overtakes really, really easy. This really is a beautiful car to do this one. Right, I hope that you have liked this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel because it really does help me. And if you're a current subscriber, thank you ever so much for your continued support. And I look forward to seeing you on another video coming very soon, which I think is going to be either the Jimny, because I've got one more of those to come, or it's going to be another one of the VGT races. So if you haven't already, hit the bell button for notifications of when those videos come, and I'll see you again on another one very soon. For now, take care. Bye bye.